Hi guys, welcome to Cloud 4 Academy load testing tool session. We are going to use Locust load testing tool, which we can use for tuning the Spring Boot microservices. Thank you guys. Let's get into the session.
Hi guys, let's get into the session. So load testing session. So load testing, we will be doing the load testing when we are finding any performance issues before going to the productions, right? So let's say I have developed a page, it's going to development environment and it is in the QA environment. It's working fine because normally in QA environment more than few people only will be accessing the environment, right? So we cannot find any kind of performance bottlenecks like page loading response time is slow. It is causing let's say 20 users are accessing the QA environment, testing environment, but there is no issue they are finding because the number of access is very less, right? So the page access is very less, so page response time is good. But the same page website when they are accessing in the production environment, maybe 1000 users or 10,000 users and 1 million users they will try to access the production website, live website, right? So that time the page performance may slow, or if there is any issue in the page, like so it may cause any issue, right? There are multiple possibilities of causing the page response time is become slow, right? Sometimes page is slow because we are not using the right caching mechanism, and sometimes any component, UI component, which is causing the issue, which is making them more impact on the page, right? So there are multiple reasons the page might be slow when the number of users are trying to access, and they increase and try to access the page, because when we load the page, it could be memory issue if the any resource which is not cleared properly, like any kind of threads are not released properly, or any database is the page is accessing the REST API is accessing one microservice, and then that is calling another microservice, that microservice is calling the database, so which is causing the issue, right? It is taking the page loading response time becomes slow. There are multiple reasons, right? If backend layer is slow due to business logic is causing the issue, or we have write a huge query which is causing the issue, which is not tuning properly, indexing issue, query indexing issue, or database we are not handling any cache, or database query is causing the issue. There are multiple reasons the page becomes slow, right? When the number of users are trying to increase, right? Trying to increase and try to access when the huge number of users are trying to access the page, right? So how do we overcome this issue? So before going to the production, if this issue comes in production, what will happen? So we need to rework the issue, right? So again we have to finding the issue and debugging where it is causing the issue. It will take so much of time, and it's consume a lot of it will take a lot of effort, and the resource consumption is lot, and we have to identify and finding the root cause, and then we have to do, sometimes we need to do the rework as well. We have to again rewrite a components, so it may take a lot of time. It is impacting the business, so there are a lot of back and forth issues are there because of performance issues, right? So to overcome this issue, before coming to production, we need to testing, we need to do the performance testing, that is called load testing. We need to do the load testing. Let's say I have developed the application which is working fine in my development environment, and QA environment also is working, and functional wise it is working fine. All use cases are passing, test cases are passed, but we need to test load testing. There is a dedicated environment called load testing environment, performance environment, or we could test any of the environment like load testing. We will give like 100 users, or 1000 users, or 10,000 users, or within this particular time period concurrent user, or at the same time trying to access 10,000 users to the web page. So what is the response time? So we can find out, the load testing will give the graphical representation, how much time it is taking. When the user is 100 user, what is the response time, 200 user, what is the response time, 500 user is trying to access, what is the response time, and what is the average response time, what is the maximum response time, what is the minimum response time. It will give all the statistics analysis, where we detailed analysis, where we can find out if there is any issues are there, how many failures are happening. So all those things we can find out through the load testing, right? So this is why we are using load testing tool, right? So load testing, there are a lot of open source tools are there, like JMeter and Locust. We are going to integrate Locust with our Spring Boot microservice, right? We are going to do the load testing for Spring Boot microservice. Locust is a open source tool which is developed in Python. So this is suitable for Python test cases, but it will support for Java as well, Java as well, load testing for Java as well, because the master node is Locust is Python and the slave node is Java. Java is providing that is called Locust 4j. Is a Maven dependency which is supporting for all Locust load testing things, like load testing performance we can do using that dependency. There are a couple of dependency are there, we need to add them the Maven and then we can work, right? So what we need to do, we need to create a Maven project and then we need to add the dependencies like Locust 4j dependencies and other dependency we have to add it, and then we write a test cases in a Java, and then we will deploy that as a single jar file, and then we will start the master node as a Locust master node, and then we will run our testing Java as a slave node, I mean as a worker node. So we have to start that, we need to run that jar. So I will elaborate step by step how we can do that, and then we can test our changes. We can UI, Locust is providing the UI, how many concurrent users you want to test at a time. It will give the statistics and graphical representation. So that's the reason we are using Locust tool. So now let us get into the session demo, how we can do that. Okay, so first what we will do is we need to install Python in our Windows environment. So we can go to Google and install Python. Install Python on Windows. Install Python on Windows. If you give that, it will give the Python. This is the latest version is 64-bit installer. 3.12.3 is the latest version. We can go there, download this and then install it. It will get installed. So I have already installed the Python, so I am not installing that. Let's say I am going to directory like command prompt. Let's say I am going to command prompt. So I am going here, run as administrator. I am going here. So I am going to so if I give Python version, right, hyphen version, will give version. See, this give the version number 3.12.3 is the latest version, right? Python latest version. And then we have to install Locust. So we have to go there, install Locust. Install Locust on Windows. If you give install Locust on Windows, this will give the installation directory, installation documentation. This is the install Locust. Pipe 3 install Locust. Just copy this and then we can install. I already installed Locust also, so it will not give much difference. If you are already installed, it will say it is already installed, otherwise it will install that. So I just copy that and create pipe 3 install Locust. That's it. It will start installing that. Right now it's already installed. So now let us see the version, what version it is installed. Locust. See when I type Locust, it's saying Locust is not recognized. Locust command is not recognized. That's an -v. It's not Locust, because Locust is installed, but we need to find out where it is installed. Locust exe scripts or the right Locust related scripts, where it's installed, we need to find out. For that there is a command is there, Python import. So that's related to Python, right? Locust is written in Python. So we have to run this command, Python import csv executable. This will locate the Python installation directory. So this is the Python installation directory. You can copy this directory and cd, just go inside and directory there, and then see python exe. These directories are there, but this is not the directory which we need to look into it. We need to 3.2, right? So we have to go there. Python, any directories are there? Yeah, one directory is there, so we have to see this is the directory, right? So 8p and low cache. So Python packages Microsoft Windows. So this is the directory actually. So we need to find out this directory exactly where it is. For currently it is installed my local. This is the directory, like C user events I already noted. C users events data local package Python Foundation 3.12, local package Python 3.12, and we can search scripts, and so this is the directory. So I just found it manually where it is installed. So we need to see that while installing that, but it will be like we can search it like your user and then Windows users list, and then Python search, and then Python 3.12 scripts. So if you go here, I just exit from this directory, cd backslash, so I'm just CLS, I'm giving CLS. Now I'm going to this directory, cd, this directory. This is where the Python is Locust is installed. So I'm just, if I put directory, you can see Locust exe, Mogno connector exe, normalizer, Python possibility py, and wheel exe. So mainly the locust.exe, you can locate, you can search it and you can locate it. So this is the directory where locust is installed. Right now what we need to do is we need to add this path into the our environment variable, so that every time we need to go to this directory. If you go to this directory, it will work locust, right? If I exit this directory, for example locust, it will not work. So we need to go to this Windows and environment, search environment variable, environment, go to environment variable, path, go to path. Currently I am using Windows 10, so it is going on path, new variable, I am added that, okay, and then here also the path is there, right? Path is there, double click and then new, and then save it, okay, yeah, done. Now I saved it, so I just type this locust. Now still it's not working. We need to exit the command prompt, log into the command prompt. So again I'm going, now I'm typing locust. See, now locust is working, right? So this is how we have to do the locust. So locust, now we'll see the version, locust -v. -v means if you put version number 2.24.22, this is the version it is displaying, right? So now locust is installed and Python is already installed, and we added a locust script path, this path, right? This path we have added into the environment variable, so now we can execute all the locust commands, right? And then what we need to do, we need to create a Maven project. So we need to write a test cases, right? So then only load test case script we have to write, right? In Java we have to write it, then only it will work. So now I'm going to file, new, and then create new other Maven. I'm going to Maven project. Next, create simple project. I'm going here. So group ID I'm saying locust load testing, and artifact ID I'm giving com.cloud4 academy. I'm giving cloud4 academy. That's it. No need to give anything. Here also you can give locust load testing module name, and here also description same you can give. No parent project, and finish. Now the project is created. See, now where is the project name? com.cloud4.com. So I think project name is not fine, so we'll remove this. I'll recreate again. I'm going here, create new other Maven project, create simple project. Next, I'm giving locust and then cloud4 academy dot load testing, locust here, also add a locust here, locust load testing, and here also I am giving same name. So finish. Now project is created in the locust. Load for academy, load testing. Let's see load testing module, right? So here no classes, nothing is there. We have to check the pom.xml. I'm going to pom.xml. So we have to add some scripts. I have already added. So we have to add maven, right? Pom.xml. So first we have to add the dependencies. What are the dependencies? Dependencies. These are the dependencies we have to add. Dependencies. These are the dependencies we have to add. So what are the dependencies? The first dependency com Myzon Locust 4j. This is version is 2.2.3, the latest version, and io.rest.azure. This is a test cases when I am writing this module. This dependency will get called. So this is another dependency, this is for integrating with the Locust, and SL4j. Just we need to add this log4j. And then bind, this is just for JSON, this is dependency, we can add it, and S folder J, this is also just simple, the logging we are adding. The major dependency, these two dependencies, Locust 4j and REST Azure, this both we need to use, right? So now I have added dependency, and how do we compile? So we have to build the maven, right? So we have to add the build tag, we have to add. I'm going here, I'm just coming here, dependencies, enter here, and adding build tool plugins. Whenever we are adding, we need to do this way in maven. In maven, the purpose of maven, right? Maven is a build tool which is used to build and package the code as a jar, right? It's packaging as a jar, and we can run the jar anywhere, right? So true locust is a main class I am giving. So jar with the dependency, it will build with all the dependencies, with this dependency source code with these dependencies. It will create a jar, not only independent jar, it will create all the dependency classes will be packed along with this custom classes. Make assembly and package as single. So this command execution, this is we need to execute. If you are not giving this, then we have to clean and build and install. Instead of that, we are giving the maven command, makes assembly package single. So we don't need to give anything, so it will automatically package the jar file, right? So we have create, now we have added the entry, right? Now we have to create a test class. So test class, how we need to create? Just going here, I'm just creating a folder called Cloud4 Academy. I'm just creating a folder Cloud4 Academy. I'm creating a class, new class name. Class name we can give like Cloud4 main, Cloud4 locust main. We can give like Cloud4 locust, Cloud4 Academy locust main class. This is a class which is connecting to the master node locust. So we need to connect the connection URI here. So this is a Java class, right? And we are just, what we are doing is we are going here, and this is the code we are running. So how many, let's say I'm just copying here. I'm just copying here. So here is a locust class. Here is a locust class. We have to add locust class, and then instance. It will return. It will get the locust master instance, and it will run. Since it's a local IP, we have to add 127.0.0.1. It's a local IP, and port number. This is a port number. So master port and master host number. Both are master node. That's the reason we are adding here, right? So once we added, and then coming to the next point here, locust.run, we can add comma and then number of test cases. This is one class. Open application task is one test class. So like that we can write multiple test class. How many users we want to execute? 50. That is given UA also. Via UA we can give, but just for now I'm giving default is 50 users, concurrent users. Comma another class. For example, I'm going to write another class. Once again, I'm going to write another test class, not open application task. You can write open application or Cloud Academy application task, like that. The load testing name is, script name is name class Cloud4 Academy application task. This is a load testing class name. So we have to extend the abstract task. This is a base class we have to use, extends abstract task. Once we do that, then we have to override. These are the classes we need to methods we need to override as part of this. So I will explain first we will wait. So what is the weight of the test case, and then the name of the test case is Cloud Academy application task. We can give any name here, and here the constructor name, constructor passing the weight parameter. So this is the weight of the how much duration, and valid response we are giving valid response, and given is the method which we are giving to call this. Given actually is already there, I think, so we can import this class. I think we are not imported. I have imported this. So if you are imported, then it will not. Yeah, once we are imported, in this class we need to import static. The given is a API static method. A parameter we can pass or we can give empty. I'm just given like this. When the HTTP localhost 80:home. This is a consumer microservice home page. I'm calling the consumer microservice home page. If you see the consumer microservice home page, there are producer also is getting called. I'll tell you that. So before going to consumer microservice URL I'm giving, then status code is 200 success, right? And again I'm importing that, and then HTTP record success response time we are just printing that. That's it, right? So now so this is a response status. This is a way we need to call the API. I mean the home page we have to call. First I will call a home page, and then we will call a particular API, REST API, and how we will test it. First we will set the home page, right? I just call this. This is the way we have to call the write the load test scripts, load test cases. We can say in Java load test cases. This is one of the test cases. If you want to write multiple test cases for API, we can write another test cases like that, and we can give the API name. And we go to this is a parent class. So this is a master load test class. You can go here, just give this test case name, comma, like that. You can give multiple test cases. We can give, right? So they run that. Locust will run multiple test cases. I am running only one test cases. We can write multiple test cases, comma, and then we can give multiple 50 right test cases. We can give 50, right? So this is the way. Now we have written the master node. We have master IP address, port number, and running the locust test cases calling. This is the test cases we have written, simple test cases, and Maven we have written, right? Now we have done the our changes, code changes. We have done it, right? So now what we need to do is we need to build this jar, right? So that we can run that jar. So we can go to the pom.xml, and before that we have to create another way. We have to, like Python, I'm creating a folder called Python, and then we have to give Python script. We have to create. That is a dummy script. We are not using that. Just we can use a dummy script because Locust is built on Python, right? So master node is dummy. We are not calling master node. So anyway, we are creating the Python script. The name is called .locust.py, and this is a dummy one. So I'm just going here, giving OK, and then calling this Python script. We can copy. This is just dummy. We are not using anything. Save it, and this will give some error. So what we need to do is we need to configure the Python. See, this is a Python in Eclipse. We can go in our Google and search install Python on Eclipse. You can do Eclipse. So this will tell how to configure Python in Eclipse. See, this is a tutorial. You can see Python development is done by Eclipse. You can go here, configure Python, right? You can go here, PyDev. What they are saying, Windows preference PyDev. Windows preference PyDev. Where is PyDev? PyDev is here. PyDev, and then what they are saying, PyDev interpreter Python. Interpreter Python. Interpreter Python interpreter. We are going to Python interpreter. And then what they are saying, go to Python interpreter, and then Python name of the Python exe path we have to give, Python exe path exe, and then exe path we have to configure in Eclipse. New, go here, new, configure file path. No, not like this. I think so. path, no, try environment. I think no. What they're saying, click new button, enter the path, press new and enter the path. Python exe. So where we install Python, we have to select Python exe. Python. So where I install users, you can see the app data, local, I'm just checking the path actually where it is in exactly. Python is installed. OneDrive, I think so. Microsoft, and then Windows apps, I guess. So I think I already noted, right? Python installation directory. We have this command tell Windows apps Python. So Windows apps Python foundation, Windows apps Python foundation, Python foundation. See python.exe. Yeah, it's now configured. This is the location. Sorry, I think so. We can copy this URL. Here you can give, let's say, Python point 2.13, something you can give, and path here you can give, let's say Python, I think script path you have to give. I'm going users, even say to app data, local, Microsoft, Windows apps, Python, here python.exe. I'm giving exe. I don't know why it's not coming. Once again, yeah, I think we already selected the path Python user, the particular location in this here, and just then apply and close. I think now Python is installed. See, this error is not coming. So just for adding the class path in Eclipse, so that Python error will not get. So we can compile our source code. Now we can go to pom.xml and run, and Maven install. I'm just calling Maven install. Let us see what will happen. So now it's installing. So yeah, now it's compiling and packing the jar file, right? Maven is packing the jar file. Now it's compiled, success, build is success. You can go to target directory, refresh. See, these are the jars are compiled. So I'm just copying this. I think this is the jar with the dependency, load testing snapshot jar with the dependency. We will see how what are the classes are copied here. So going here and I'm just creating a folder called load testing, and I'm just copying this jar, and then we'll open this jar, how it is packaged, whether it's all the classes are there or not. You can check. See, com and git lib, all the directories are there, right? log4j, all out of the box classes are here. Groovy, all the Java classes are there, and our custom classes as well. You can see that, right? Com, and then these are custom classes, Cloud for Academy. See, these both classes are compiled. So now this is where we have to verify all the dependency classes are there, right? So it is packaging properly. Now our code is packaged. Now what we are going to do is we are going to run these test cases. Before that, we have to start our consumer microservice. I'll just start the consumer microservice. I'll tell what is consumer microservice. I'm just starting consumer microservice. What's the port number of consumer microservices? We'll see. 8081, right? Consumer microservice started. We can go here and I'm just clicking http localhost 8081/home, not home, I guess. Home is there. Okay, home. See, now consumer microservice started, but if you see this, recent product and feature products are not displaying, so it's empty. So because we are not started the producer microservices, right? That's why these fields are empty. I'm just going to start the producer microservice as well. I'm just calling producer microservice. So it is connecting, it's calling. So now we are going to test only this home page, only this Locust 8081 home. That's all we are testing, right? I think we are wrongly right. Once again. So now started. Now if you see this, it's loading. So still loaded. Producer microservice started. Yeah, started. I'm just running again 8081. Yeah, I think now it will load. Okay, it's not loading. Consumer microservice is not loaded. Circuit breaker is on. There is some error. What's the error? We will see. Consumer message cannot invoke Spring Get body feature in responsibility is null. So it's not getting the response. Fail to connect this. Localhost man fail to connect localhost. So I think some code issue. Let us fix this. Asynchronous founder reporter. Because of Locust we have again. I'm just going to consumer, checking this consumer risk controller, not consumer, sorry, we have to start consumer only started. Yeah, I started consumer, correct only. So we have to see not this service, home page controller. Okay, home page controller, home is running, call producer microservice, and okay, we'll check that. I'm checking the client service. Oh sorry, this will be localhost. Sorry, I did it because of some changes I did like this. I'm just adding localhost 8083. Here also I don't think so, this code needs to be commented. I'm commenting this code and then I write producer URL. This code I'm writing. Okay, I don't think so, different code we have to write for that. Okay, I will fix this and then we'll come back. Okay, I did this code changes. Just I add the localhost and then I call instead of service name. This is for service discovery changes I have done it, so I just commented out. I'm just calling this microservice, producer microservice. I think so it will work now. So let us stop the consumer and then restart again. Consumer and then restart again. Consumer microservice. And just started again, right? So yeah, I started. I'm going here. I'm just going to run that now. I think it will work now. Let us see. Yeah, now it's calling. See, now it's calling, it displaying the producer, the response display from the producer microservice. See, these both product feature products and recent product, both are displaying, right? So this page now we are going to do the load testing. So how this page is performing when we are giving 100 users or 1000 users, how the load testing, what is the response time, is it causing any issue, or its average response time is good, RPS time, page loading time, how it is. You will see we are going to test that, this page, complete page, which is, see, if you see this page, it's involving the images are loading and then dynamic pages are there. These are coming from the another service which is calling to the database and then fetching the information, NoSQL database, and then fetching the information. This is connecting MongoDB, calling producer microservice, consumer is calling producer microservice, and producer microservice is calling the MongoDB, which is cloud hosted, and then fetching this data. See how many network network round trip is happening. You can check that, right? So how this page performance is happening when we are doing the load testing. Now we are copying this URL, and I'm just going to check the script. Script is here, load testing, right? So I'm going to check that whether I have written correct. I think I wrong host name I given. Let us check here. Not here. Load test cases, sorry, 8081. We have to give 8081. So what we need to do is we need to rebuild the jar again, because I changed it, right? What we can do is go to pom.xml, run as, and maven install. So it will recreate a jar with all the dependencies. So now it will create it. So what we need to do is what we can do is we can just copy this directory, target directory. We can go to the target directory, cd target directory. Now we are in the target directory, and then copy this jar name. We can copy this. This is a jar name. We can copy this dependency jar, right? We can copy this jar, and we can go there. First, what we need to do is we need to run this master node, locust master python master node. We need to start, and then we need to start our dependency. This is a dependency jar. We have to execute this jar. Before that, let us go here. Before that, we have to copy the class name as well. What is the class name? Cloud for Academy. So we can copy this class name as well. What is the package name? Cloud Academy. We can copy this also. Cloud Academy. First, we will start the master node. We can go here and the master node, because we will copy the target directory. I think we can copy this Python script. Where is this Python? This is a Python, right? Copy and put in the target directory, so that because we are in the target directory, right? So that's why I just copy this script. This is just dummy script. No issue on that. This is just dummy script, which just we are giving some basic code actually. Where is that? Python. So we can just copy, put it in the parent directory. You can remove this one. Delete. Yeah, now it is a locust is the master-py is there in target directory. Now we are going to run this. We are going to start the master node. See, locust -f localhost -master.py -fn master bind this localhost 127.0.0.1 and port number 5557. Now we are running. Now see, starting locust is starting to master node is started. Now it started. Now I'm going to another window I'm opening. I'm going to run the command again, run as administrator, and then I'm going again I'm just copying this directory, structure target directory. I'm going here, cd. Now I'm going to run the test cases. I'm going to start the worker node, like run this jar, java Cloud for Academy testing jar dependency jar name, and then the main test case name. We are just giving this. I'm just giving this, entering it. Now started, main method not found. There is an error. What is the error? Java, we must extend Java application. Must extend Java application task. Okay, it's having some error. Okay, some main method you are not written properly. That's what it is showing what is happening. Test class. So I think static main method we are not written then. Okay, here is a problem. Locust, where is locust? Public static void main. Okay, open locust method is running, which is what is the error? Error is saying open task, Cloud for Academy application task, method not main method not found, main method not found. Okay, main method not from testing. That is there, but it is saying okay. It is saying it's the method name. It is main method public static main. That is fine. Open private void abstract test. Okay. Abstract test. This is also correct. So are we giving the right path? Jar name is correct. Cloud for Academy dot application. I think we are not giving right class name. Sorry, we need to give this class name. We need to give this main class name. Sorry, master class name, not the load test class name. Master main class. So the master load test we are running, right? That class we need to give. I can copy this. See, Cloud Academy, Cloud for Academy, Locust main class we have to give. Now it's running. See, now started. It's working. So now I'm going to run a test cases. So what is the load test cases path? This is a path. Localhost 8089 is a path. So you can go here. I'm running here localhost 8089. Now running. So this is a Locust UI. Right? You can give number of tests, number of concurrent users. Let's say 100 concurrent users. Every 5 milliseconds it has to increase, like 10, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, like that it will increase. Host we can give is an option, we don't need to give. And here runtime, here also you can give how many milliseconds runtime option you can give. So those things not required. We can give number of users, concurrent user. Concurrent user means at the same time trying to access the page. What is the page performance time? Let's say 10 machine and 10 users are accessing. That's called concurrent access. At the same time they are loading. Let's say 100 machines, 100 users are accessing. From the 100 laptops, 100 users are accessing the website. That's called concurrent at the same time. Right? 100 every 5 seconds, every 5 milliseconds. Now start. Now I'm starting the test cases, right? So now what is happening? It's not working. See, it's working. No, it's 0. Now it's working. See, it's increasing 30, 40, 50 users. I'm highlighting this, right? 60. What is the response? No failure count, and RPS means response per second. So this is a response time. Now 100 users are running. Now testing status is running status. So now you can see the name of the load testing. The name of the test case is Cloud for Academy application task, and request is 160 now is fired. See, now it's 345 is fired. It's keep increasing. Request are keep increasing. It's keep calling, and 1700 and 280 milliseconds it is telling. 99 is calling. 3400. Average is 1653 for 2500 requests. This is a milliseconds response time. This is a minimum response time 77. This is a current response time is, this is 28.5 is a millisecond current response time. This is a maximum number of users, I think, is accessing that, is trying to access the request. So this is a maximum milliseconds is taking, and this is an average milliseconds. This is when 99% test cases are running. So this is minimum milliseconds. How much? This is a current response time. This is a minimum millisecond. This is average. Average is 1 seconds, 1 milliseconds. Maximum. This is max milliseconds. This and all are related to users. Actually, the request actually number of this is a request actually. This number of milliseconds is taking time. So these statistics analysis we can study in the Locust website. It will do clearly what is this actually everything. RPC means the current response time, 77 milliseconds is the average response time. So this is a minimum average. This is average size actually. So this is a response time, and this is average response time, minimum response time. This is the current response time. This and all is how many milliseconds they are taking to execute these many requests, 8000 requests. So that's what it is telling, these parameters. If I go to chart, you can tell how many users, and this graph is telling total number per seconds, number per seconds. This will tell number of users. See, it's a consistent. There are no spike written or consistent. This means our page loading is working fine. Consumer is calling to producer and producer is fetching the data from database. So all there was no issues on this. All the users are increasing, but there are no issues. Pages are working fine. So right, we are not finding any bottlenecks or any low page loading issues or any database issue. Anything we are not finding. Page is responding correct. It's working perfect. The response time is when the user hit is increasing, this response will go spike, will go high. Actually, this is expected, right? This is the average. So this is what graph is telling. If you want to see the failures, no exceptions. So these logs, you can see what are any errors in the logs. This will tell. So this is what we have to test our. You can check the console here. It will run the jobs. See, pages are, see, logs are going on. This means it is calling this microservice. Consume microservice is getting called. That's why this log is keep calling. See, it's going. If it is producer also, it will get called. I am going to producer. See, producer is also, it is getting called. Producer, see, it's keep going. So test cases are running. If I want to stop that, we can stop that. If I want to new, we can run, let's say 1000, we can increase 1000, and here we can give, let's say 10 milliseconds, and we can start again. So again it will start the test cases. It will come here, logs, statistics. It will take gradually. Now 49 requests, the total number of users 60. Now 80. Now 80 users and 401, 600 requests. So the total number of seconds it is taking total. This is a response time, page response time 64 milliseconds. 63 is the average, right? This is a total number of milliseconds taking for executing this request. That's what this parameter 95%, 99 average is telling, right? So chart also we can refer that. So now this is how we need to check our pages are loading fine or not. This page or how it is working, we can check. And now it's keep loading because load testing is going on. So we can stop our load testing. Now I stopped that. What we can do is I'll just stop the server here as well. So I stopped it actually. So theme life also stopped it. Now I'm going to start only producer microservice and producer API, how it is responding. I'm going to check. Let's say I want to test the only API, REST API, whether particular microservice is working fine or not in that particular producer microservice. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the producer microservice. So this is a load testing we have to do, right? I just started the microservice. So what is the API URL, API name, API? This is a path of the API. Fetch category ID. This is a path. And what is the host name? Localhost. And what is the port number? We have to go here and check here. What is the port here? Port is 8083. Now we can go to test cases. 8083. You can change to 8083. And then path is fetch category, and category ID is we can give, let's say, feature category, right? Parameter we need to pass, path parameter. So what is the path parameter? You can go to consumer and then check here. Consumer, check here. Cloud Academy, consumer, controller, homepage controller. So let's say feature category only we are fetching. So I'm just going to add this category for feature. So it will get feature category. So now I'm running the test cases for executing the API, REST API, how it is performing. So that's what I'm going to do now. So now if I do this, see, log is not executed, right? See, it's not, consumer is not, log is not going. It means test cases are not executed. Even if I go here, copy this URL and running in the Postman, I'm running this URL in the Postman. So what it is responding, we'll check this. I just open the Postman. We will execute this URL in the Postman, and how Postman is responding, we could check that, right? So that's how I open that. Now I am going to package this. And I'm going to Postman loading. I'm going to package I copied, right? Now I changed the test cases, right, to copy the API. So I need to rebuild the jar. So where is the load testing? I'm going here again, install, run as install, Maven install. It will again rebuild the jar. So I'm going, in the meantime I'm going to here Maven, sorry, yeah, it's build is success. I'm copying this URL. I'm going to Postman, giving this URL. So I think, yeah, see, it's working. See, this is a response is giving. Okay, so now if I see this logs of producer microservice, nothing is not running. See, no, it's not running. Now I'm going to run this test cases. I'm just going to execute that. I'm going to execute. So what we have to do, we have to stop this slave node. So we have to rerun the jar because we rebuild the jar, right? So we have to rerun it. Now I rerun it. So what we have to do is I have to run the load test. This is UI side we are giving. I'm going to new test cases and they are giving 100 users and let's say 5 and then start. I'm starting now. See, now what is running 0 users, now 15 users, request 0, now 50 users. Now Cloud Academy 285 request, so response time is good, 42. So now you can see the log in, see, it's running. Producer microservices keep running, see, it's running, it's loading, keep executing, right? So that's how the test cases are running. So test cases are executing this producer microservice. So we can check the response time 199. For how many requests? 2700 requests are fired, right? So how many concurrent users? 100 concurrent users. So this is a statistic it is showing. So graph also you can see graph. So 100 users, concurrent users, 2000. The requests are keep firing until we stop that. It will keep firing. So response time is good, but somehow spike is happening, but little bit has spike and then it's fine. Now it's working. So our APIs are responding good, right? So no failures. There are no failures and working good. Response time also good. Now we have written our API is good, REST API is good, and microservice is working fine. Our producer microservice, and it's fetching the database from MongoDB, and then it's working, fetching the data, and it's correct, right? There are no issues. This is how we have to test our changes in the load testing tool in Locust, right? So now very high level I'm saying. So what we done is we have written a test cases. We are on the these are test cases. This is the way we have to write a test cases, API name, URL, and then we have to run a master node to host name and port number. Master, this is only one class should be there, and we have to add multiple test cases like that. We have to add the test cases we have written, and then pom.xml, and then Python, the master node Python. We have to add it, this Python script. We have to add that. I added it currently in the target directory. Python locust -master. This is just something like dummy can be there, so no need to be exact things. So this is a dummy file, so we can copy this and then we have to set the class path. Actually we can go to the because Python class path, Python exe we need to do that. By the further preference, Python needs to install the Eclipse, so Python interpreter, and we have to install that, right? So that no error, build error will not happen. And then we have to go there, start the master node. This is a way to start the master node. The Python file name, port number, host name, and then running that, and then we can go to slave node, and then we can run our jar. We can set a jar. We have to run that. This is the way we have to run the jar, right? And then we have to run the test cases executing. This is the way we have to integrate our Locust tool, right? This is the way we have to integrate our testing our microservices, Spring Boot microservices. Thank you for listening, guys. And please subscribe our channels if you are not subscribed already, and likes and give the comments. And thank you for watching once again. And we are looking forward to join our Cloud Academy. Thank you, guys.